I'm Jason.
And I am Cathy, and you're listening to the latest episode of Imperfectly Us.
Several weeks in a row. We're on a nice run.
Yes. We are weekly cranking these out, and hopefully people are not tired of listening to us. Hard to say.
It doesn't sound like it.
So, what's new?
Let's see. What's this week been like?
You actually did something social this past weekend. You got out of the house and hung out with some of your guy friends and went golfing. How'd that feel?
Awesome. Except for I felt rushed.
Well, sorry, I don't feel bad about that. That you knew what time you needed to be back. You could have made your tea time for an hour earlier.
Yeah. If we did that, I'm sure the golfers ahead of us would have been slower. It was an overpopulated golf course.
Yeah.
They overbooked.
You got out and had adult time. I don't feel bad for you at all.
I did. Good adult time.
Yeah. Hung out with friends. Kid-free. Did something you love, which is golfing.
Yeah, you talk about your happy place?
Kid-free.
My happy place is kid-free? No, my happy place is on the golf course. That's where I want to be.
Well, very good. There you go. You got to do it last weekend.
What do we do Sunday?
We had another birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
We had two birthday parties this past weekend. It was all birthday parties all the time. But Izzy had such a great time. Yeah. And that's really what's important.
And she slept a lot after.
Yes, it did tire her out. Yep. So, it was a birthday party weekend last weekend. But, and actually it was interesting because, and I think I mentioned this last episode, and so we were going to talk more about it. But, my mom had mentioned a while back that she wanted to take Izzy up north. For a weekend because they were doing, the community theater up there was doing Seussical. And she thought it'd be fun for her to have like a little Izzy with her grandparents weekend up north and go see that play. And my mom mentioned it in passing while we were up north. I didn't have a calendar in front of me and I didn't really, basically, anything that's been mentioned from like mid to late July into August, I've basically had been like,
yeah, it gets the
we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah treatment. We'll deal with it when it comes.
I'll deal with it later because my sister is due August 7th, which is next week, and we really were not thinking she was going to make it to her due date, so I was just not making plans for anything near the end of July and into August because I figure at some point we're not going to be here, and we really didn't expect her to make it to her due date because she kind of looked like she was going to pop when she was up here in June. Well, lo and behold, she's been going weekly now for her doctor's appointments, and as of last week, really baby's in great position, baby's doing great, mama's doing great, but no progress has been being made. And I totally thought the baby was going to be here by now. So I'm starting to get a little panicked in terms of being ready for back to school because, side note, there's still not carpet in my classroom, so I haven't been able to go start setting up my classroom yet. And I thought I was going to already, be gone and on my way back from Texas, and I'm running out of summer. But needless to say, that's a whole other thing. But so my mom had mentioned it to me. It was in passing. I got the yeah. And then we got these birthday party invites. And then my mom mentioned to me again, hey, and, whatever last weekend's date was. And it was like oh, shoot. Like, Izzy loves spending time with Gigi and Dale, right? And going to Port Austin. It's one of her happy places. Speaking of happy places. But then also she loves seeing her friends. And I don't know, maybe it was I kind of called you in a panic the day that I brought it up to her, but I was like, I'm going to let her make this decision because, and my mom's even acknowledged, I grew up in a house where a lot of our decisions were made for us. And my my sister will tell you she's very indecisive, and I'm pretty indecisive myself and kind of overthink things. And so we're trying to raise Izzy to make more of her own decisions. And most of the time they're like...
Easy.
Yeah, like, do you want a quesadilla for dinner, or do you want a hot dog? Or do you want to wear this shirt, or do you want to wear this shirt?
No emotional feelings.
Yes.
You didn't call me to say, I'm going to do this. You called me to tell me, you did this.
Oh, yeah, I did it. I called you after the fact when the panic had set in, because I said to Izzy, so Iz, I need you to make a decision. You got invited to 2 birthday parties, but it's the same weekend that Gigi and Dale wanted to take you up north to Port Austin for a special weekend with them. What do you want to do? And she just started to cry. And cry. And then cry some more. And so I was like, shit, mom, fail. Oh my God, what did I do? This is way too much pressure for my 6-year-old. But parenting is such a fine line between raising your kid to be independent and putting too much pressure on them, or raising your kid to be a go with the flow, easily adaptable, or too much of a pushover. Like, there's so many fine lines. And sometimes I don't even feel like they're fine lines. I feel like they're like dotted and zigzagged and who the hell knows lines. But so she cried a lot. I might have cried a little bit too. And I'm like, do you want this? You're right, Isabella. This is a huge decision. Maybe mommy should make this decision for you. And it was, my intent was good in the sense that I asked her and left it up to her, because the decision I wanted to make for her, as much as we love, like, I love seeing all of her friends together and these kids, and we love the parental group, their parents and everything. Like, it was the possibility to have a kid-free weekend. Like, those are really rare. Especially when it's like, the only times really where we have a kid-free weekend is because of something that's going on that dictates the necessity for a kid-free weekend.
Right.
And this was just legitimately going to be like, oh my God, we could have a relaxing weekend. And so I didn't want to make the decision for her, because I didn't want to make a decision that maybe wasn't in the best interest of her, because it'd be hard for me not to make the decision that's in the best interest for me, if that makes sense. Or and I also knew you were kind of upset with me because I was like, you have to go to birthday parties. Like, you can't just be gone with your friends. It's great that you want to hang out with your friends, but you can go golfing in the morning. You need to be home for these family responsibilities in the afternoon. I'm like, well, great. This clears all of that up. And then I'm like, I can't make that decision for our kid. I'm going to let Izzy has to make decisions. Like, she needs to be prepared to be able to make difficult decisions. But then there were so many tears. So many. Not all of them hers. And I was like, you're right, Isabella. Mommy was unfair. This is a huge decision for you to make. Do you want mommy to make the decision? No. Okay, do you want to talk about it? No, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, okay.
Did she pull the... let's just stop talking about it.
Yeah. I was like, do you want to think about it? And she's like, yeah, just stop talking about it. Because that's her latest thing, is just stop talking about it. So a couple hours go by, and I bring it up to her again, and she tears up and tells me she doesn't know yet. And I ask if she wants mommy to make the decision for her. No, I want to make the decision. So then another couple hours go by, and I bring it up again, and this time finally she didn't tear up, and she said, I want to go to the birthday parties.
Was she actively, like, thinking about it? Did she, like, just take time in a room, or...
I don't know. I didn't see that process, which is why I tried to keep prompting her to have a conversation with me, because it's okay to be upset by things and I have a hard time making a decision. Like, let's talk it out. Let's develop those skills for these decision making. But she didn't want to talk it out. It's not like she went off quietly by herself at some point and, like, had this deep contemplation.
Meditating in the corner.
But hours later, she knew what she wanted to do. She had decided. She wanted to go to her friends' birthday parties, and she did follow it up with, but maybe I could go another weekend with Gigi Dale? And I was like, I don't know. Like, this is the weekend they wanted to take you because of the play. Well, lo and behold, it actually runs 2 weekends, and so they're going to go this weekend up to Port Austin and have special weekend time and go see the play and everything. But I was really, like, it was one of those really tough parenting moments. Like, I still don't know whether I did the right thing or not in regards to having her be an active part of the decision.
Because I think they did because, I mean, it worked out in the end.
It did, and she's fine, and I don't think she's any more traumatized now than she was, 2 months ago. I haven't totally screwed her up this summer, I don't think yet, so...
Time will tell.
I guess. But, I still... So that was I think I alluded to it last week about this big decision that Isabella had to make, but that was her big decision, and parenting is so hard. I told everybody last week about the whole liquid soap shenanigans, but I don't know, parenting feels like most of the time, like I have never felt so simultaneously strong and weak at the same time, if that makes sense.
Question mark.
Because I feel like I know I'm strong. Look at this wonderful human being that we've helped to create. And then at the same time, I question every little thing I do. And so it's like motherhood, where you simultaneously feel the strongest and most weakest and vulnerable you've ever felt all at the same time. And like I said, it's not even just a thin line sometimes. Like, sometimes that damn line is like dashed. So like it's not even there some of the places. You know what I mean? Like, and it zigzags and it's all over the place. So I don't know. I feel like...
Was it the line in the sand that keeps getting blown over?
Yeah. Or like the tide keeps coming in and washing it away. I don't know. I'm sure we come up with all sorts of different metaphors for it. But there's been some tough parenting this summer. So, and that's not the only tough parenting that's been happening. Isabella, and Izzy's actually here. She's in her room playing right now.
Yeah, Gigi didn't like the concert this week.
Yes, they didn't go to the concert that they've been going to every Wednesday because they weren't interested in this musician. But last week, when she went to the concert, and we recorded last week's episode while they were gone at the concert, she came home and had something very important she had to tell us. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we were like, well, what is it? And she told us that a kid was mean to her while they were at the concert. Because the concerts that they were going to are like, they're in a little park that we have in downtown. And so there's like a gazebo, and that's where the musicians play. And there's a little creek, and there's like swings and, I don't want to say jungle gyms because that sounds so much small. Play structures. And Izzy... went down the slide. Like, my mom was watching from afar, and Izzy went down the slide, and there was a boy at the bottom of the slide, like not on the slide or anything, like just standing by the slide, and he called her a name.
What did he call her?
He called her loser girl. Which, of course, our child is very sensitive, by the way. But I guess she went like right to my mom and like pulled her aside and asked her if they could have a private conversation. Which always worries me when she's like, can we have a private conversation? Because she's going to reveal something like that she's very sensitive about.
Right.
And she
It's totally you, by the way. Can we have a private conversation?
Yeah. Well, so she revealed this about the kid. And there you go. Parenting, like, fine line. Like, the warrior in me wants to teach her to throat punch him. But I know that, like, that's not really an appropriate approach to life.
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
Yeah, it's kind of frowned upon.
I agree with it, but it's frowned upon.
So I think I thought my mom's advice, at first I was a little hesitant about the advice she gave her. But the more I thought about it, I think it was appropriate advice. She told her to say, if somebody says something mean to her, to say to them, does it make you feel better to say something mean to me? And if they say yes, to say something along the lines like, well, that's really too bad that you have to be mean to make yourself feel better. Which I think, yeah, I guess that is pretty good advice. It's better than throat punching, I guess. So we did have a conversation then, though, about how that's why it's so important to be nice with your words, and that words matter, and that it's important to include people and all that kind of stuff. But God, like, I'm not, like... I am too sensitive for these types of things. Like, she's, I want to say she's very lucky, but really, he's very lucky that Mama Bear wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have reacted had I been there. You know what I mean?
There have been some expletives.
Probably. I might like throat punch somebody. Probably not a kid, though. I think I have enough control not to. And I say that, and I'm such a non-confrontational person that I talk a big game.
I think that if she came over to you and said, I need to have a private conversation, and you guys are standing there over the creek on the bridge, and she's got these big brown eyes starting to well up, and tells you, the boy called me a name, and you're like, what do you call you? Loser girl. You would rage. You'd
like rage against the machine, or just rage against...
You would be very calm with her, and then I think you might pull her aside and have her point out the kid.
And then stalk the child, the parent.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Because by nature, too, I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast, I'm an introvert. So, like, not only do I not like confrontation, but I'm really not a very, like, outside social person. Like, I'm fine socially with people that I have an established relationship with or in small groups, and I push myself. That's why starting school this past year was so stressful in regards to, like, making parent friends, which luckily we are so blessed that Isabella has some really awesome friends who have really awesome parents. But yeah, I really honestly don't know how I would respond. How do you think you would respond in that situation?
Listen here, you little shit! Something like that.
So you would have, so this is, where we handle things a little bit differently. You would probably address the kid.
Yep.
Where I would address the parent.
Yep.
Although, I'm hoping you wouldn't call a kid a little shit. But I don't know. Papa Bear, Daddy Bear, you never know what Daddy Bear's going to do.
The kid would be floating down the creek.
Yeah. No. Scratch that. He didn't really mean that. In a big rubber ducky. Floating down the creek in a big rubber ducky.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Parenting is really hard. For so many different reasons. So, like, last week, all freaking fired up about retelling this story. And then she comes home, and so, like, had channeled all of this, like, recalling of when she was being this little shit. And she's been so great since then, P.S. But she comes home from this concert, and she bows and hands me a flower made out of, how they do, like, balloon animals, but it's a flower. Because they always have this balloon artist at the concerts. And she normally, like, the week before, she came home with, like, a sword. And then the week before that, it was a dog. But this week, or this past week, so here we had been talking about her horrible behavior. And then she comes home with this flower that she had the balloon guy make me. Rather than making something for her, she had him make me a flower. And she specifically asked for purple because purple is my favorite color. And then she goes on to tell us about a boy calling her a loser girl. And you're just like, oh my God, this is like, when parenting is not hard because of one way, it becomes totally hard because of another. And, like, she's so sweet and sensitive. And it's like that fine line. Like, you want to raise them to be strong and be a warrior and stuff like that. But I was such a pushover when I was a kid, and I had some friends that did not treat me well, and my heart broke into a million pieces when she said about the loser girl thing.
Yeah, because I could hear a kid say that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. God, it was horrible. But, so talk about taking, like, a total 90 degrees last week after
trashing her an hour and a half before she comes in.
I was not trashing her. I love my daughter with everything in my being.
Except when she's a pain in the ass.
No, I still love her then.
Oh,
but
yes, you love her.
I don't always like her.
Yeah.
But God, just talk about, like I said, we had talked about how hard parenting is, and you're shoving soap in their mouth, and then they come home and hand you a balloon flower and tell you about boy that called them a name. And God, once again, parenting is so freaking hard, but for a totally different reason. So, I don't know. I feel like I've been on a very interesting parenting journey so far this summer. So,
and you've spent a lot of time with her, so
yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
You guys are riding the roller coaster together.
Yes, we are. We very much are. And I just feel like she's growing up and changing so much every day. She's getting really good with swimming. She's doing really good. So we've been working on bike riding, too.
1/3 of the way of our goals for the summer.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were at the moment. I'm really tired.
Get her to swim.
Yeah.
Have her ride a bike.
Uh-huh.
With no training wheels.
Right, which
That's
I don't...
probably not going to happen.
No. But she is getting better on her bike.
And I don't remember what the second one was.
That would be the third. Get better at math.
I don't remember what C was. What was C?
I don't know. So, I don't know. It's been interesting.
Well, let's just say she accomplished it.
Sure.
If we don't remember it.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Who's going to argue with us? So, yeah.
Izzy.
Yeah, that's true. She does. Ugh. What a kid.
How were your meals this week?
Meals have been pretty good. I am really just on the struggle bus. And I need to get off the damn bus and, like, run beside it, because then maybe I wouldn't be on the struggle bus. Meals have been pretty good this week. We actually... I'm trying to even think what we made. We actually... Last week, we had done, like, copycat... Actually, this was really funny. We went into it with the intention that we were doing, like, kind of like copycat Chipotle burrito bowls, right? Yeah. So we had, like, done some shredded chicken with corns and black beans, and then you cooked up a little bit of rice. And the idea was that we'd make these burrito bowls. And so I went ahead and did that, and I added a little bit of avocado and some fat-free shredded cheese, and some tomatoes and some lettuce and a little bit of light sour cream, and I made like a copycat burrito bowl. But you didn't.
Same ingredients.
Same ingredient. Oh, and we also had sauteed peppers and onions, too. That was because that kind of made it.
So then I took the same ingredients, fried up an egg, put it in those ingredients, and had a little
and added some sweet
Mongolian
chili
barbecue
sauce. So yeah, you took your peppers and chicken and corn and black beans and rice, and didn't add lettuce and tomato and cheese and avocado and sour cream, but instead added egg and soy sauce or whatever and sweet chili sauce. And
I threw the sriracha away.
Oh, okay. So I had Mexican and you had Thai-ish? Asian. But so it was just funny because it was literally like we made dinner together, but our plates looked totally different. But it was really good, so we actually did it again this week because we still had some chicken left over. So we did that. We're going to do the 2-ingredient dough pizzas again. That'll probably be tomorrow or Friday, I guess. Friday pizza night. I made lasagna zucchini boats yesterday.
Yes.
And we were able to lighten that up a lot by using the really lean ground turkey. And then I use cottage cheese rather than ricotta, and I use the fat-free mozzarella. And so we were able to lighten that up to like 1 point of zucchini boat, which is pretty impressive because they were very cheesy.
You're very cheesy.
Yes, I am, and yet you married me.
We did this before Weight Watchers too.
Yes. Although I feel like this time was even better, which is very interesting considering it probably had way less cheese on it. Yeah. But so yeah, if you want to see the picture, it's not, I think my Instagram post last night said, it's not a pretty picture, but it's pretty delicious or something like that. Because it was really good. And I think the key to them is, like I made it earlier in the day, so it had a chance to like sit, and then we just warmed it up and ate it. Because we've noticed before when I've made them that like they're good when we eat them like right then and there for dinner, but then they're even better the next day after they've had a chance to like soak in some of the sauce and stuff like that. So we actually purposely made them ahead this time and then just warmed them up at dinner time, and those were pretty good. And we didn't use all we were economical. And so rather than using all of the turkey in that, we saved some of the turkey and we did turkey sloppy joes with my Aunt Millie's reduced calorie hearth buns that I've talked about. It's like anytime I see them at the store,
oh yeah,
I have to grab them.
The Meyer by us is hit and miss.
Yes, so they may have them every time we go in there for a month, and then they may not have them for several weeks. And so I think literally the last time we were there, it was like, oh my God, they have them. We're going to have to figure out something to eat with these. And I picked them up even though there wasn't, like, we didn't have anything scheduled on the meal plan for them. So that ended up working. And it was easy. And you made really delicious homemade sweet potato French fries in the air fryer.
See, I didn't like them.
Oh, I love them every time.
Tonight's meal
wasn't satisfying for you?
What do we have? Sloppy joes, corn, and the sweet potato fries. It just, everything I ate tasted weird. And you're like, corn's awesome. It has this good flavor. I'm like, I just put salt on it.
Maybe
I put salt in the water.
Maybe you had a weird taste in your mouth. I'm sorry you were disappointed in your meal.
There's still
on the other
potato
hand,
fries in there.
Thought it was delicious. So yeah. Oh, and then we're gonna do chicken orzo veggie pasta, which I shouldn't reveal this after the whole egg roll wrapper debacle. But I did not realize orzo pasta existed until 2 years ago when we were doing HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? You mean it's not rice? It's pasta? Oh my God, it's delicious. I knew nothing of the existence of orzo pasta until 2 years ago with one of our HelloFresh meals. And we love orzo pasta.
We don't do HelloFresh anymore.
No.
But the cooking techniques and the food that we did in the 6 months that we had it.
Yeah. It definitely
opened up
our
eyes to see what we can do and what we're missing, and
it broadened our
ingredients.
Horizons in terms of ways, for example, green beans, which I know are not your favorite, but green beans are probably my favorite vegetable and one of Izzy's favorite vegetables too.
You know how you talk about how you're burnt out on summer squash?
Yeah. No, spaghetti squash?
I think, isn't that the same thing?
No. Summer squash is like yellow zucchini.
Okay. So you're burnt out on spaghetti squash.
Yes, I ate a lot of it when we were trying to get pregnant.
I am burnt out on green beans.
I know you are. But see, it's tough because it's something that's so delicious. But my point with it was that, we used to always just, would it be steam green beans? And when we started HelloFresh, boil, steam, whatever. When we started, no, we literally always either boiled them or steamed them. And then when we started HelloFresh, I remember one of the times they had us bake them in the oven. And it was this light went on. And it's so good. And actually one of our favorite things, green beans in the air fryer are freaking amazing. And so that's one of our favorite ways to do it now. And I never would have even thought to cook green beans that way. I tried radishes for the first time when we did HelloFresh. Oh, that
vinegar, what was it?
Yeah, it was some sort of
pickled radish salad.
Yeah, so there's some different stuff. We definitely couldn't do it now because there was just too much oil and butter.
They have the recipes, a low carb, low calorie.
But it was definitely a great thing to have tried, especially before we got into this healthy eating. Yeah. Because it helped us broaden our cooking styles and thinking outside the box and not being as afraid of just trying new things, whether it be cooking the way we cook something or the ingredient or whatever like it. So when we make the orzo veggie chicken pasta this week, it's totally inspired by something we made 2 years ago with HelloFresh. So yeah, my biggest thing that I'm having a hard time right now with is I'll do great all day. Well, two things. I will either do great all day and then get this a hardcore case of the snackies after dinner when I really should just be starting my fast. Or I get a case of the snackies while we're out sitting by the pool and unknowingly even have suddenly taken down...
You get the zombie arm going?
Yeah, and I've taken down a half a bag of blueberry Cheerios. Sorry, Nicole, that I ate all of your blueberry Cheerios.
Yeah, for the kid. You ate all
I know.
She bought it for the kids and you pounded it down.
I did. They were so delicious. If you have not tried blueberry Cheerios, I don't know what the points are, but they taste good. And no, they're not a 0-point food just because blueberry is in the title. Although they're probably a lower point cereal because they're whole grains.
I wouldn't make that.
I don't know. I totally don't know.
I wouldn't make that connection.
Here's my shame moment. I didn't even plug it in my calculator to see because I just was trying to be in denial. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. I was in denial. But I did finish for the first time ever. I have this app on my phone, and it was like a 30-day stomach ab workout thing. And it took me a lot more than 30 days. But I finished it yesterday, all the way through. I did all 30 days. So it took more than 30 days.
30 days.
But I did it.
30 days and 37 days?
No, it was more than 37 days. I don't want to talk about how many
weekends
more days.
count?
Well, I mean, technically, yeah.
2 weekends. Take the weekends off, you're at 38.
Let's say I completed it so far this summer. I started it once summer started at some point.
There's 7 weeks in the summer?
Yeah, I know. But I did it to its completion. So that's something. I'm still just really... I did go out and actually run a couple of times.
Yeah, it was like back-to-back days.
I ran Friday because you were having to work from home because your car was in the shop, so I had no excuse. Because I haven't been running this summer because it's been so hot and humid, and I definitely like cold water running better. But once again, those are all excuses. But I've been allowing myself to use that excuse because you get up really early and you leave at like 5 a.m. So it's not like I can get up and run before you go. And by the time I could, but by the time you get home, it's hot and humid again. And so I've been allowing myself to use this as an excuse. I totally know. Like, I have a friend from high school that has done a marathon now. She's amazing. She's an amazing runner. And she literally runs every day. And I mean, her runs, like, my whole run, she runs like twice that as her warm-up type of thing. Like, she's kick-ass. And even on these days where it was this unbelievably high heat index, everything, like, she still did her runs. So it's totally an excuse on my part. But I've been allowing myself to use this excuse. And then I've been irritated.
You also don't know if she takes it off in the winter. Maybe she's...
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. I don't want to... She's awesome. I'm not downplaying. I'm totally just addressing myself here. I'm just using her as a perfect example of I'm allowing myself to use this as an excuse, and I understand that there are runners out there that are running every single day, and they're running after work, and they're doing these things in a lot even, hotter weather potentially than we're dealing with. So my point is that it's an excuse on my part. And you worked from home on Friday, so I couldn't use it as an excuse. So I was like, you're pissed about your weight right now. What are you doing to help yourself? And I think I even put on one of my Instagram posts that I can make excuses or I can make progress. And so I went for a run. And then Saturday morning, you left to go golfing, but my mom and my stepdad came over to install a new dishwasher. And so I was like, I have adults here. My kid is entertained. I'm sore as hell. I'm going to go running. And then I did take Sunday off and let my body rest. But then Monday, Izzy's been going to daycare once a week. So she can see all of her friends that she had. Because she started going, we love the daycare. She started going there when she was like 18 months old, just once a week for socialization. And then once you started working full time, it went to full time. And then the year before she started kindergarten, she spent a little bit more than half of her week there. And then the other 2 days, like at the preschool and with speech therapy and stuff like that. And so it's her chance to go back and see her friends that she made and these lovely women that she's grown up with. And so she's been going on Mondays, or at least once a week since the summer started, so that she can see her friends. And so I took her to daycare, and I was really proud of myself Monday. I came home, and I made myself go for a run. It was not a pretty run. It kind of sucked, but I did it. So, my healthy hack for this week.
Healthy.
Is, I've been seeing people talk on Facebook, because I belong to a lot of WW groups on Facebook, about, and I don't really like Greek yogurt. I think I've mentioned that before. I finally found a kind of Greek yogurt I liked before we started Weight Watchers, and I scanned it the other day when I was at the grocery store. It was one of the ones where you like have the mix-in stuff, and it was 10 points for the Greek yogurt that I used to get. But for the most part, I don't like Greek yogurt. I can make do with it when we do it in the 2-ingredient doughs and stuff like that. But so I had been seeing people post about the Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt because they had a toasted marshmallow flavor. And I was like, I think I have to try that. Like, I'll buy one, and if I don't like the taste of it, like, no big deal. Well, so I couldn't find just the Light and Fit toasty marshmallow or whatever it's called, but I found they had Greek Crunch, where it's got, like, toppings on the top of it to mix in. So kind of like those flips that I used to do. And I brought it home and thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to see if I like the taste of the yogurt. Because then maybe, like, it's still worth it. If I can get them on sale, it's still worth it, and I'll just throw out the filling. So the one I got was s'mores. So it was this marshmallow-flavored yogurt, and then it had, like, the toppings on the top that you can pour into it had, like, chocolate and graham cracker. And I brought it home, and I scanned it, and my app said it was only 4 points. And I was like, oh, my God, like...
Well, it's like a dessert. I'm
gonna try this, and so I mixed it together. It was so good. It kind of felt like I was eating ice cream, but I was eating yogurt. So I've posted it a couple of times on my Instagram page. And Izzy actually likes. There's a flavor that she likes, and it's like chocolate cookies and cream or whatever. But the Light and Fit Greek Crunch, I like the s'mores one, and I also like the coconut chocolate bliss, and those are a little bit lower points than they have some other flavors that are higher points. Yeah, it's delicious.
What if you put it in the freezer?
I don't know. I mean, that could totally work.
For like a couple hours.
So, I mean, the yogurt by itself is 70 calories. And like I said, or at least in this one, I totally bought it with the intention that I was going to just eat the yogurt and throw away the toppings. And then when I scanned it and got the full points, I was like, I'm going to eat it as is. Like, this is delicious. This is a great dessert. So that's my healthy hack for the week. So it's Dannon Light and Fit Greek Crunch. If you go on my Instagram page, BellaBugsMama13, you can see pictures of it because I think I've posted it like once or twice. But I really like the s'mores kind, and I actually like the taste of the marshmallow Greek yogurt by itself, which like I said, I was not a Greek yogurt fan. And then when I scanned the kind I used to get and saw that it was 10 points, I was like, oh my God, thank God I found this other one.
Did you just is it because now you're used to it? Or does it not have like the
I don't think it has like the tangy, gritty, yeah, especially when you mix in the toppings because it mixes it more throughout. So, and we have actually a special little guest that's joined us. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Sorry, she kind of bumped my microphone a little bit. How's it going?
Good.
Good? What do you want to tell everyone? Here, come sit a little bit higher up. What do you want to say?
My friends come over today.
Yeah, you had your friends over today? How's swimming going?
Awesome. Today I swim underwater.
You swam underwater.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting better about the water touching our face, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Mommy and Daddy talked about something earlier, and I was wondering if it's okay if I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talked earlier about how when you were at the park last week with Gigi at the concert,
Mm-hmm.
that a boy said something mean to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? How did that make you feel?
Sad.
Sad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you going to do the next time that happens?
Say something back.
Say something back? Something mean?
No.
No? Something like what?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
Mm.
All right.
Do you remember what Gigi told you to say?
I forget. Right, not in this month.
No, it was this month. It was last week, honey.
Oh.
Remember Gigi told you to say something about, like, does it make you feel better to say something mean to me? So we've been talking a lot about how it's important to stand up for yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a pool party today.
Back to the pool party. Good. Good thing kids are resilient and have one-track minds.
It's because we're nonstop at the pool.
Yeah, it is nonstop at the pool. Although we did have 3 days in a row where we didn't use it because of weather and
Pools.
parties. Birthday parties.
Sorry, she said pool party. And...
All right, anything else you want to say? Because you're making my legs hurt. No?
Nope.
Okay. We'll tell everybody bye.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping in to say hi. Go ahead and go back to your room and keep playing.
I'm in your room.
You're in my room?
Yeah.
Are you cuddling with the dog?
The dog.
Is the dog in your room?
He's out here, I think. Oh, nope.
You guys playing musical?
Yeah, he's in his bed.
Oh, okay. He's in his bed.
What are you doing in our room?
I'm watching Captain Underpants.
Watching Captain Underpants, man. Hey, she's staying quiet while we're podcasting, so it's all good. It's all good. Go back. You're good for it.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So what? Hit me with it. What are your did you knows?
Did you know?
I'll start with the little one, and then I'll go up to the big one. So, let's see. Holly sent me like a video, and it just plays a bunch of random facts.
Okay, so this one's a shout out to Holly.
Yeah. The microwave was invented after a researcher walked by a radar tube and a chocolate bar melted in his pocket.
It was in his pocket, though.
It was in his pocket. He walked by it and then melted.
I know, but wouldn't it have melted in his pocket anyway?
Eventually, it just sped up the process. Kind of like, eventually your food's going to heat up.
Okay.
The next one. I think we talked about Ben Franklin a couple days ago about the eyeglasses.
Well, yeah, you've been playing Jeopardy on Alexa every night.
So, when they were renovating his house in London, they found 1,200 pieces of bone in his basement.
Ben Franklin's basement?
Ben Franklin's basement.
He had a house in London?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you fact check this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They said that it belonged to at least 15 people.
Intriguing.
6 of them were kids.
I feel like you need to do more research into this one.
Why? We got questions?
Yeah, I think most people would have questions.
What's your question?
Where did the body... Where are these bodies from?
They believe that the med student who was living with him, his name was William Hewson, was collecting them from cadaver brokers and grave robbers to teach himself.
Interesting. Or he was just a psycho.
Or, how many...
He was just a psycho.
I mean, there's also... Ben Franklin was a philosopher, a humanistic philosophy. Philosophist?
Philosopher.
Philosopher?
The correct word would be
philosopher.
Philosopher. Philosophist. Oi. Hi.
But, I mean...
This is supposed to be the segment that's supposed to make you sound super intelligent and clever. Philosophist.
Maybe those bodies were because he didn't want to hold the key to create electricity. Maybe he was just pulling people aside and be like, "Here, hold this," into the lightning.
Oi.
And then it was...
Is that a dad joke or
No.
I don't even know.
Maybe those were bodies that he was collecting from electrocution because during his experiments with the kite and key.
You might want to be careful. You might be getting into libel or slanderous.
It's
area.
all over. It was like 16 websites I found.
Huh. Intriguing. Please tell me there's not another.
No.
Oh, God, thank God.
That's it.
I don't know that you can top dead bodies.
Ben Franklin's dead bodies.
Right.
Not just any old dead bodies.
So, no, I did not know those things. I'm not sure that I wanted to know those things.
The guy who's on the $100 bill was collecting bodies.
No. Allegedly, first of all. And not even necessarily allegedly, because you said it might have been his roommate.
Well,
I still didn't even know that Ben Franklin had a house in England.
Maybe he was the fall guy in the situation.
I don't know.
Because Ben Franklin couldn't tarnish his name.
Yep, okay.
Anything else?
I guess not. Not with how much time has already passed.
What do
Sorry
you got?
for going over our half an hour goal.
That wasn't happening today.
No, there was too much to talk about. And actually, there's more that we had talked that we were going to talk about that we didn't get to.
Let's
But
go.
No, it's not. We can save it for next time.
Okay.
So, thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe and like and share.
And if you think somebody might like us, go ahead and drop our names.
Yes. So this has been another episode of Imperfectly Us. I'm Cathy.
I'm Jason.
And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.